guys, sorry about that. I'm trying a whole new mic setup. Every week we're gonna try a new one until we find the one that's beautiful and perfect. I know it doesn't look beautiful, but work with me. Alrighty guys, can we move some other paper? What episode are we on?
We're on 85.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show Live, episode 85. Wow, that's exciting. Okay, so I know I usually start with the Instagram, but I got 2 TikTok questions. I just want to switch up the scene a little bit. And these are actually really, really quick ones, so we'll get through them fast. So first from Kat the Queer. Okay, love it. She commented, do you have any specific snuffle mats you like or recommend? So I guess it really just depends on how motivated your dog is. If I have a dog that enjoys a snuffle mat and is kind of like unlocked the one that you're currently using, you can get snuffle mats that have longer fibers, and then you can move it around as you pour the kibble in. You can like move it and open up the fibers, so they really got to dig in to get them out. If you have a dog that's motivated but isn't super motivated, like they get tired of it or they get bored of it or they get frustrated, you can get the small fiber ones, which you literally pour the kibble on, just kind of move it back and forth a few times, and it'll filter down to the bottom of those fibers. But the more motivated they are to get the food, the longer the fibers I usually get. The less motivated they are, the shorter the fibers, because the longer the fiber, it's gonna make it more difficult for them to get the food out of it. And from Alexis Creepy, how long do we keep them in the crate? Great question. So every dog is a little bit different. Age also matters as well, but DM us for a crate schedule and then kind of customize one specifically for you. And you can DM us on Instagram for that one. Don't DM us on TikTok. We don't usually respond to that one, but Instagram, we got you guys. All right, remember guys, I talk fast, so I'm sorry. If you guys have questions, I'm gonna zip through these 5 questions really, really fast. The more you give me, the longer it'll go. So this is a response from, Nikki Jerk, this is a response from the previous question that we answered for her, which I believe was about like the structure schedule, going potty early in the morning between like 5:30 and 6. This is her follow-up question. She has a 15-week-old Corgi. We appreciate the age and we appreciate the breed. It makes her job very much easier. Oh, no Bethany today. You guys just get me. He is sleeping through the night now. Thank you. Love it. He is great with training, commands, crate, potty, is on a schedule, but is a horrible biter. He's a Corgi. It's perfect. At least he didn't get a Malinois. I either train with him, or give him something to do anytime he is awake, period. And he will start biting and sometimes get more aggressive where he'll bite my hand and try to thrash with it like a rope toy. Do I just need to put him in his playpen more often because he is overstimulated and possibly teething? What can I do outside the playpen to avoid this behavior? So, no, I wouldn't just default to the playpen because that doesn't address the problem. That just basically pushes it off, and it might get worse when he gets older. It's not going to dissipate. And I noticed that you said that you will always give him a chew toy when he's outside of the crate. That also doesn't work through the problem. That kind of just pushes it into a different degree. We want to address the issue. The issue that you have is that he's a pushy puppy. He probably is teething, but when they bite that much and they're doing the head throwing motion, that's usually them being more pushy and trying to test boundaries. So what I normally do in that situation is, one, when your dog is out of the crate, they always have a leash on 24/7. Not in the crate, they wear a leash. And playpen, they don't have to wear a leash either. But when you have that leash on your dog, and I may not use a harness and leash because your dog is more motivated, I might get like a Mendota slip lead. It's just literally a little rope that goes in a little upside down P and goes up to where you would hold it. When my dog starts biting me, I'm going to calmly take a breath, pick up my leash, no, pressure up, out, and move into them. Because remember, we have 3 strikes that are going to help our puppy understand what we want. Strike 1 is redirection. That's like using the toy. You've already used the toy and it's not working. That doesn't mean you have to stop doing it, but it shouldn't be your go-to every single time. Strike 1, redirection. You've tried it, doesn't work, move on. Strike 2 is body blocking. I call this addressing the problem at the source. Meaning that when my dog is jumping and biting or pulling at my clothes or biting at my hands, it's a firm no, pick up leash, pressure up, out, and move into your dog. And it's not like a little slow step like no, off. It's no, firm. You don't have to use the man voice. You can I call it the mom voice or the dad voice. It's a voice that has authoritative use behind it. And when you move in, your dog's gonna look afraid for a moment. They're gonna give you these big old whale eyes and look scared. It's not fear, guys. Your dogs don't know the meaning of fear because they've never been shown what fear will look like. Instead, It's a surprise. They're so surprised that you're willing to escalate to their level and then go one up above it with your firm body language and your firm stepping. So the understanding behind this is it gives you about a 1 to 2 second window where they're like, they back off, unsure, surprised that you escalate to the level and went one up from it. And in that 1 to 2 second window, you have to redirect them. So you already mentioned you're doing a lot of training with them, and I agree, that's the way to go, but you have to address the problem with that second strike, that firm body block, that leash pressure up and back. And when they kind of back off for a second, release the pressure, and then dog come, place, sit, down, good. If you haven't worked on place yet, place is the next command. A solid place command teaches the dog how to be calm on command, because place is quite literally designating an area, like teaching the dog to go to a designated area on command and stay there until released. We're teaching calm on command with place command. So you got to do a routine, get that brain working, and once that brain is working, then you can start working on increasing the duration of place. They try to get off, step in, leash pressure up and out, they're back on, they settle, release leash pressure. You do it over and over and over again. You teach them how to settle, not necessarily always with food either, because food can build drive. That may not be what you guys want to do. You want to use the drive they already have with quick repetition to get the brain working, get them following, slow down the repetition. So now you're doing calm patterning. I call it calm place patterning or calm crate patterning. And that's like place, sit, good, pause. Come, heel, place, sit, good, pause. After doing the fast, that's your slow. And then eventually you start building on your duration to help them settle for longer periods of time. That's a really hard one though. I mean, I'm with you on that one. That's something I do every single day here at Puppy Academy, because without doing that, it's really, really hard to work through that frustration biting and that teething. I'm not really even sure it's teething. I think it's more just frustration biting and trying to play with your hands. If you have any family members, boyfriend, husband, partner, whoever it is, who is using their hand to play, or anyone, they cut that out. No more hand play. It's always with the toy, and you need to teach a really good drop. There's a lot of YouTube videos on how to do that. And again, we have our online school. I'm not trying to push it on you guys, but if you are curious on how to do some of the techniques I've mentioned, place command, drop it, all that, check out our school. It's puppyacademy.com. First link on the top is for our online school. Did I answer all of it? Kimberly, you feel free to step in if I'm missing a part of the question.
I was just going to say, this wasn't recording at the beginning, so can you reintroduce the episode?
Okay, so sorry guys, one of our YouTube wasn't recording. This is Ask a Puppy Trainer episode 85, and I'm not going to repeat the question, so they'll have to add it in somehow. All right, next is from Terrell Sandoval. What type of services do you specialize in? Dog training, puppy training. Usually about 6 months or younger, and sometimes we'll go up to about 8 months, depending on the temperament of the puppy. Hello, how are you? My name is Terrell, and I have a new puppy in our family. His name is Loki. He is a 14-week Goldendoodle, and we've had him for 3 days, and I'm trying to train him to use the bathroom outside. He cries when I try to walk him. He cries when I try to walk him and lays down outside, and I'm starting to get worried. Can you help me? We can. So one, I want you guys to DM us for a structure schedule. That's your first step. But let me break down the very first part of that. So what the structure schedule gives you is it gives you the understanding for your puppy on when they go potty on command. That's a very important phrase right there, on command. Because a lot of people have doggy doors, and maybe that works for some. Terrell, it's not going to work for you. It's not going to work because your puppy doesn't want to voluntarily go outside. So what I do with structure schedules is puppy comes out of the crate, I harness, leash, and if it's wet outside or they don't want to walk outside, I'll actually pick them up and carry them. Hopefully you don't have a big dog. If it's a small dog, if it's a small dog, carry them. Big dog, do your very best. I'll move them outside to the area that I want them to go on. I do not give them a 20 by 20 or a 10 by 10 area for them to roam to go potty. For every new area they go to, that's a new smell for them to get distracted by. It doesn't teach them to potty on command, it teaches them to smell until they're ready to go potty. I'll put them in the spot that I designate, which, to be fair, is a spot that they tend to frequently pee on anyway, so it already smells like them. I give them 2 to 3 minutes to go potty. If they do not go potty in that 2 to 3 minutes of me literally standing like a tree, holding the leash, I don't move and follow, I'm literally placed, tree, that's it. they can go to the end of the leash that way, that way, that way, that way, and eventually, usually within 2 to 3 minutes, they will go potty. If they don't, which is honestly still pretty common anyways, if they do not go potty, put them back in the crate. There's nothing wrong with that. Dogs that don't go potty on command, we have to teach them. So when we put them in that crate for a young puppy, let's say 16 weeks or younger, maybe I'll do like 5 to 15 minutes. It gives you a bit of a range. Dogs that are over 4 months, like 4 to 6, 6 to 8, whatever it is, I might increase that time. If it's 4 to 6 months, I might do 15 to 30 minutes. If it's 6 to 8 months or 8 to 10 months, I might do like 30 to 40 minutes. Because we're teaching them that if they don't go outside on command, they go back to their crate. A lot of the times too, it's just overexcitement. They're so excited to be outside that they forget they have to go potty. But every time you put them back in that crate for that 10 to 15, that 15 to 30, that 30 to 40, whatever time you're on, and then you take them back outside and repeat the first part of my answer to this question, which is the 2 to 3 minutes, standing in one spot over and over and over again. First time they had to go, but they're easily distracted. Second time they gotta go, but they're still a little bit distracted. Third time they gotta go, state of emergency. They gotta go potty right now. That's usually when you get your potty. When they go potty and they're peeing, do not be like, oh yeah, because they'll suck it right back in. They'll hold it back in and then you're gonna have an accident in the house. You gotta wait from the fully exhausted bladder. Wait for that final drop to fall. Good or good boy, good girl, good potty. Give it a phrase. Mine is go potty. I know people that are like, do your thing. And their dog goes to that. Whatever you guys choose. I usually get a kick out of most owners though. So whatever your phrase is, you gotta name it and you gotta mark it when your dog is done going potty. Don't do it in the moment. And once they do that, bring them inside the house. That's when they start free time. And in the schedule that we give you when you DM us, that's where we'll kind of break down that free time a little bit more. Usually it's like walk and play, it's training, and then supervised separation. But yeah, follow up with us next week. I'm very curious to see if that worked for you. How are we doing on time? Oh, we got time.
We have a live question over here. Do you want to answer it?
Yep, I'll take a live question.
They're getting a Goldendoodle soon. Do you have any tips?
Okay, so we have a question from TikTok. We are getting a Goldendoodle soon. Do we have any tips? My tip is to 1, puppy-proof your house right away. 2, find some good training videos for you to watch or online school. Something that kind of gets your brain in the training mentality so the minute your puppy comes in, I'm training from day 1. And it may not be like the hardcore, intense, like come sit down, stay. You're probably not gonna get that from a really young puppy, but even just name recognition. Puppy's name, come, take a step back, good treat. Work for your meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, as many as you can. You wanna build food drive because a food-driven dog is a dog that loves to train. And then structure schedule. So let's recap. Puppy proofing, that's so your puppy's safe in the environment that you're in. They're not free roaming every single room, and they're not even getting walked across the whole house. It's just too much mental stimulation. 2, find a good training program, whether it's our online school, whether it's a local one next to you, or just a couple YouTube videos. And 3, structure schedule. Everything I just mentioned, the potty training is huge. Okay, I'm gonna add one more. Don't let him sleep in the bed. Ooh, that's a big one, right? And I'm getting some head shakes right now at home. I can feel it already. There's a reason for that. Young puppies who sleep in the bed, especially during COVID when we're spending a lot more time at home, even if you're kind of out of the COVID routine, you're probably still spending more time at home than you ever have before. That's how you build separation anxiety in a young puppy. And don't carry your puppy around. It's unnecessary. Even if you want to take them outside and get them acclimated to the real world, a lot of vets right now are saying you cannot let them walk on the ground or say hi to other dogs or touch the grass. And they're right. There's a lot of leptospirosis. There's a lot of different like Giardia issues with young puppies. That's because they're spending more time inside. They're not building their tolerances up. Get it like a little puppy stroller. Get one of those little slings that you don't wear across your chest. You can just as easily put it on your rib like it was a purse or something. Let the puppy exist in there. Don't be petting them all the time. Don't let people come up and pet them. Don't let dogs say hi. Just teach them to go outside and watch their surroundings without always needing to be pet by their surroundings, without always needing to be acknowledged by their surroundings. Teach them existence. That will give you a well-rounded puppy before they can even say hi to dogs and do all that. Okay, wow, that was supposed to be like a 10-second answer.
They said thank you, and now we're getting follow-up questions.
I gotcha.
And we know the sound is bad. Sorry guys, if you don't like the sound on TikTok, join us on Instagram Live.
Yeah, sorry guys. On TikTok, we don't have a microphone for that one. If you jump onto our Instagram though, we have a mic plugged in, and I don't see anyone complain about the sound on Instagram, so I think my mic is actually working today. We've tried so many mics, guys. We apologize now. The recording also on our YouTube is much better audio because I sync up the audio from a different microphone as well. But do your best, guys. TikTok or Instagram is a little bit better. Is there any more follow-ups from TikTok?
At what age can they start sleeping in the bed or always in the crate or in a bed at night?
I guess it's more preference. So if I have a dog that's prone to separation anxiety, and you'll know that in the first 4 to 6 months of having your dog, you can't leave the house, they're crying a lot, you're having a lot of trouble doing crate training, your dog may never sleep in the bed with you, and that might be better for them, even though it's kind of sucky for us, because we want our dogs to sleep in the bed, it'll still be better for them. We have 2 dogs. We have a Pitty and we have a Czech Wolf Russian Hound. She's a really weird wolf hybrid breed mix thing. And my wolf hybrid slept in the bed with me for 8 years and never had an issue with it. And I know it wasn't a problem because the minute me and my fiance got together and moved in together, she started sleeping on a dog bed in a different room. She didn't want to be in the same room with us, and she didn't have any issue with it. Our Pitty, same exact thing. Used to sleep on the bed with her when she was single. When we moved in together, we have a no dogs on the bed policy, and we haven't had issues. I get every single day at Puppy Academy this question at least once or twice, and that's the answer I give is, are you having trouble with crate training? Are you having trouble nipping, jumping, barking, biting, lunging, dashing, zipping out the door? Any issues? It means your puppy's probably not ready for it. I normally say about 1.5 to 2 years is when I'll consider introducing bed privileges. But again, if you have a separation anxiety prone dog, even some breeds tend to be more anxious and nervous, I probably wouldn't do it with them. But no, that's a really good question. I like that question. Okay, from Jalicia. My pup gets upset during nighttime crate, so he poops peas so he can get out. Help. Oh, Jalicia, I feel you. I completely understand where you're coming from. I'm actually not even going to give you an answer from me. I'm going to give you an answer that Bethany and I have talked about because she does a lot of board and trains, meaning she takes dogs in her home for 2 to 4 weeks, trains them, and then does owner lessons with the owner where they live to kind of get them acclimated to what she's taught. She had a dog, I think it was a Frenchie. If I'm recalling right, it was a Frenchie or a Bulldog or something. And every night, this dog would pee and poop in the crate. She'd put it in there, 30 seconds later, it'd start peeing and pooping. It had just done its business outside. It always saved a little bit in reserve for that crate. She actually had to buy 2 crates. She had one here and one right next to it. And when the dog would pee and poop in that first crate, she would take it out, put it in, wipe off the paws, clean off the dog, and put it back in the secondary crate, and then clean the one that it just had the accident in. She'd do it for about 2 weeks, and I think she said it happened like for the first week, every single day, multiple times. And then the second week, it was like 1 in every 3 days, and by the 3rd week, it wasn't doing it at all. That is the solution if the next thing I tell you doesn't work. You might need to cut your water a little bit sooner in the night. You might need to make sure you're feeding a little bit sooner in the night. Normally what I'll do is if I have a dog pooping every single night in the crate, overnight, I'll start feeding meals at 5 p.m. I cut off water between 5 and 6 p.m. I give the last water opportunity and then no water for the rest of the night. This might be short term until you kind of get over that hump, or it might be a long-term thing if your puppy is struggling. Puppies do tend to pant inside the crate if they're stressed out. So usually my universal sign to check if a dog is dehydrated is I run my finger along the inner part of their lip, right along their gum line. If it's bone dry and sticky, that means they need more water. If it's slimy to the touch, that usually means they're good. If I have a dog panting all night long, you gotta kind of make your decision. Are you going to let them kind of be a little bit underwater? I don't want to say dehydrated because I don't actually feel like it's dehydration, but maybe a little bit more thirsty overnight until they get past that anxiety hump, of which then they'll totally be fine after? Or do we cave and give water, but you'll still have accents overnight? My ideal situation, my advice would be cut off the water 5, 6 p.m., feed the last meal 5, 6 p.m., and make sure 100% you get a potty before bed. So if you go to bed at 10:30, 11, you take them out at 10, you get your pee, but you haven't got your poop yet. You take them out at 11, you get another pee because they've been saving something for you, and then you get your poop. But if you do not get one of those 2 items before your dog goes to bed, between 10, 10:15, 10:30, 10:45, and 11, I'm doing 5-minute training sessions. Fast movement, take them outside for a potty, bring them back in, or you can do fast and then slow to calm them down, take them outside the potty. You can even do fast, take them out for the potty, but now they're amped up, and now do slow training. Come, place, sit, good, treat, come, place. You get the idea. Rinse and repeat to help settle them down. But if your puppy is not going potty before bed, you have a problem. You're probably gonna have an accident. So until your puppy goes potty before bed, you cannot go to sleep. You got to keep working them over and over again. And again, remember, they're probably saving that pee and that poop, but with enough movement, enough stimulation, mental and physical, they will eventually go. Yeah, I feel you. This is a really, really hard issue. So I would try what I just mentioned first. And if that doesn't work, and sometimes it doesn't, Bethany can attest to that at her 2, 3, and 4 a.m. wake up times, swapping crates for the dog, cleaning the crate, and then going back to bed or sleeping on the couch in her crate room until eventually the dog understood that it didn't get out of the crate, which is what your puppy is thinking. I pee and poop in here, I get out of the crate, and I don't have to go back in for a while. They get swapped crates, and you just clean the previous one. Okay. Please follow up with us. I am very, very, very curious to see if that helps you guys. But again, remember, it might take 1, 2, 3 weeks. I think it took Bethany 2 weeks, and she's been doing this for like 15, 20 years, and she's a very, very, very accomplished dog trainer, professional dog trainer. All right. How do you go about cutting nails? 7-month-old boxer, male, taking him to the vet and the groomer. No, I'm just kidding. That's what I do though. I don't trim my dog's nails. My fiance does. She trains our Pitty's nails, and our Pitty hates it, but she's gotten used to it over the years. What she does and what I teach my clients is counter conditioning. So nail clips tend to be a lot more uncomfortable for dogs because it's a crushing, cutting pressure, and it puts pressure on the cuticle bed. Even if you don't hit the quick and get any bleeding, it could be more uncomfortable. What I would recommend personally, and what we do for our dog, the one that we do trim the nails on, is we use a Dremel. But you can't use a Dremel right away. The Dremel can be a little bit scary. What we teach is we teach counter conditioning. I grab the Dremel, I flip it upside down to where like the battery pack is, I turn it on, and I literally just hold it next to the dog while holding the paw, turn off the Dremel, set it down, grab a handful of food. Good, food. Grab the Dremel, turn it on, do that a couple times until the dog's just like, all right, whatever, I don't care. But you haven't even touched the paw yet. Next step is take the Dremel, use the bottom side that doesn't have the rotator, that doesn't have the rotation part, doesn't have the Dremel part. It's just literally the vibration of the battery. And I'll put the battery up to the nail, set it down, turn it off, grab food, feed. I'll do that. Boom, food, boom, food, boom, food. Now the dog's like, all right, whatever, I don't care anymore. This is gonna take a week, this might take a day, it might take 2 hours, I don't really know. Every dog's different. And then eventually, I'll take the Dremel part, the actual rotator, and I'll touch the nail, set it down, get food. Did you actually trim the nail? Heck no, you didn't. You might still be taking them to the groomer to have it done. But every day that you practice is 2, 3 times a day. Try to get one nail each time. Zzz, food. Next day, move to the next nail. Next day, move to the next nail. Maybe you're still going to the groomer to professionally have it done because you can't do every nail, but you'll get closer and closer with every time that you do it. That one's hard. Our Pitty absolutely hates it.
She took too easy.
Huh?
She took too easy.
She took too easy, my friend says, but she still tries to, she likes to put her mouth around you to let you know how frustrated she is. All right, from Savannah Mother Cell. Hello, I have a 9-month boxer lab. We struggle with him chewing our couch, mattress, carpets. We tried kennel training him, but he gets so worked up to where he pukes all over. Ooh. And he also has really bad separation anxiety. For me, whenever I leave, whenever I leave, just looking for guidance to where I should start to train him, where it'd work best for both of us. Okay. I gotta think of the nicest way to say this. It's not gonna work best for either of you because you're both gonna be miserable for the first 2 weeks. Yay, Sparky's fun, right? All right, there's a reason for that. It's because your dog has severe separation anxiety. And to break severe separation anxiety, I don't even want to say break it, but to help him work through it, get him over that hump, and then keep progressing on a steady line, is you gotta break the first part of it, which is his fear of the crate, his anxiety of the crate. But most of the time, crate anxiety doesn't start in the crate. It starts outside of the crate. So what I mean by that is anytime your dog is outside of the crate, you are training for everything. There is no more free treats. There is no more free food. There is no more free meals. Meals don't touch the ground anymore. They're hand-fed from a training pouch, so everything is earned. Affection. Ooh, this is gonna be a big one, guys. I want you to try eliminating, not cutting back, eliminating affection for 2 to 4 weeks. Because separation usually starts from an over-affection or over-coddling. And maybe that's not you guys. I can't say because I don't know who you are, but 99.9% of the time, that's what it starts with. But that's okay. Cut back on the affection, do more food training, no more meals on the ground, everything's from a training pouch, And from that point, you're gonna start getting your dog looking to you, more in follower mode, less of leader mode, more in follower mode. And when you put them in the crate, put that crate in an area that's calm and quiet. If you're getting constant throwing up, you can go to the vet and you can get anti-nausea medicine. And even if your dog throws up in the crate, go in there, don't take him out of the crate, go in there, clean it up, bring it out, give a little spray to make it smell a little bit nicer, close the crate, cover it again, and just walk away. Remember, you are in a very similar situation to the dog that is peeing and pooping in his crate to get out. Your dog is probably assuming now, because he's vomited in the crate before, that it gets him out of the crate. If he gets out of the crate, he's gonna keep doing it. It's a routine now, it's a habit. So, let's recap. Cut affection, train for all meals, no free food, no free treats, and where your crate is very important. I've literally had people put crates in guest bedrooms, black out all the windows, cover the crate with a towel, put on a loud noise machine, a white noise machine, and close the bedroom door. You want to get your puppy as far away from you as humanly possible. What's the age of this dog? 9-month-old. So it's not a puppy anymore, it's an adolescent. Male though? Male seem to be a little bit more vocal. Yeah, and it's a male. So, male adolescent dog, you're not treating him like a puppy anymore, you can be more firm. He's separated from you guys completely. A dog that exists around you doesn't learn how to be away from you. And don't just put him in the crate when you're leaving. You're doing a crate schedule all throughout the day. And if I'm being frank, I think you gotta go really, really hardcore with an intense crate schedule, which again, you guys can DM us and we'll try to give you guys one. And when your puppy barks, when your puppy tries to get out, you gotta ignore it. They vomit in the crate, you go in there, you clean it up, they don't come out, close the door, cover it, walk away. Because eventually your dog will get over it. I've seen this last for 2 to 4 months when people are a little bit kind of more flaky on keeping up with the intensity of it. And I've seen dogs get over it in 1 week here at our facility because we are just crazy on top of it. We are doing regimented, lots of training sessions, lots of mental stimulation, not physical exertion. It's not the same thing boxers want it, but they don't need it. They just need a good walk, slow, mental stimulation to work through the physical and the mental energy to help settle them down a little bit. Okay, I know I got one more question and I have 1 minute, so I'll try my best to get through it. Hello, I have an 8-month-old pit bull, pitty Aussie collie mix. Oh man, Carolyn Wright, you're in the trenches with us. All right, a pitty Aussie collie mix. I just moved to a more urban area and she now refuses to pee or poop. I'm guessing outside. Prior to this, she was peeing if I told her to go pee without a problem. I tried taking her to one patch of dirt I found and tell her to go pee. If she does not go within 10 to 15 minutes, I bring her back inside and crate her for increasing periods of time. I did this for a whole day and she did not go to the bathroom for a full 24 hours. Holy crap. She will only go on one neighbor's lawn, which I am trying to avoid making a habit, or at the dog park, and has had a few pee accidents in the house. I know she's uncomfortable and I'm not sure what else to try. I know this is also potentially dangerous for her health, which has me extra worried. Any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. I honestly don't know if I'd worry about the health too much. Some dogs can just really hold the bladder. If she had to really pee, she'll go pee wherever she is. All right, let me pull back. So let's talk about the first part. So you're spending 10 to 15 minutes outside per opportunity to go pee. That's like a recess break. She loves it. She's probably enjoying the heck out of going outside to go pee for 10 to 15 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes, that's it. It's 10 to 15 minutes back in the crate. And I think our dog is older, right? 8 months old, pit, collie, Aussie mix. You're probably doing 15 to 30 minutes or 30 to 40 minutes in the crate and then taking outside again. But also you gotta do some physical exertion. You gotta do some walking. So I might go outside, give an opportunity to go pee for like a minute, walk up the block, walk back, give another 2 minutes, doesn't pee, back to the crate. And I'll do this a couple times. I could even try doing mental stimulation. I might bring my dog out, try a minute of going potty outside, back inside, train for 10 to 15 minutes, mental stimulation, mental exertion, a little bit of physical exertion just through movement, get the bowels moving, get the urine flowing, and then take back outside for another couple minutes. You might try this for 1 or 2 days. Here at Puppy Academy, we've had the same thing. I've had dogs at Puppy Academy not pee with us for 2-3 days straight. Obviously, they go home and they pee. They're not holding for 2-3 days straight. That's a medical emergency. But even just giving the opportunity and over again, picking the same exact spot and only giving them access to that one spot, they'll eventually go pee. They have to. The pee's got to leave them some way. They'll eventually go where you take them to. Okay, 132. All right, guys. Sorry again, TikTok for the audio. Instagram hopefully was a little bit better. I didn't see anyone complain, so that makes me happy. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Have a great one. Bye. Bethany will be with me, I promise. She balances me out. I talk fast.